Hey guys, Avi here, and welcome back to my Swift series. In this video, we're going to be talking about for loops. Now let's say that I had to print a certain statement 5 times, okay? Let's say it's hello. So I could go ahead and say print hello, do this once, copy, paste, 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 5 times, and that would print that hello 5 times. Is this code effective? Sure, it works, right? But this isn't clean code. There's a better way to do this. That's where for loops comes in. Now there's 2 types of for loops, one that iterates through numbers and another that iterates through a data structure. When I use the word iterates, I mean basically goes over. For example, if I have a range of numbers from 1 through 10 and I say to iterate over them, I'll go ahead and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's what iteration is. So using our for loop, the first type of for loop is iterating over a series of numbers. And the way you do that is you say for I in some range, okay? So for some variable name in some range, and that range you denote by the starting number and the ending number. So 1 for I in 1 dot 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 10, okay? Print I, okay? So let's go ahead and run this first and see what happens. And immediately, as you see, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fantastic. So what just happened here? Our for loop says that, okay, for some variable, this variable can be called anything. Let's go ahead and just call it num for now. For num in 1 dot 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 10. And what 1 dot 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 10 gives you is going to be a list of numbers from 1 through 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So for every single number in that list, print it out. All right? So that's the first type of for loop. Again, very, very straightforward. If I want to print out, let's say, from 10 to 20, okay, I could say for num in 10 to 20, okay, and notice I'm using 3 dots, okay, so that's the sort of notation you have in Swift, 3 dots, print out num again, and this will give me 1 through 10, and then it's going to give me 10 through 20. So one thing you guys should notice is that if you're coming from a different language, sometimes this last number won't be counted, especially in Python. If you said for I in range for a certain number, that number is normally not counted. However, in Swift, it takes the initial and it takes the end. It's all inclusive, okay? So that's one thing you guys should definitely remember. Now, what if I want to print out all the even numbers, okay? If I wanted to print out all the even numbers, we can use something called the stride function. So for num in and then the stride, okay? So the stride basically tells you where you're starting from, where you're ending, and what are you skipping by, okay? So we're starting from 0. We're going to 10, and we're skipping by 2. I want to print out every single num. So this sort of stride feature allows us to print out all the even numbers. And it allows us to basically skip through any number or increment by a specific number. If I want to print out all the multiples of 5s to 50, I'd go ahead and say from 0 to 50 by 5s. Okay? So the stride function is very nifty when you want to increment by a specific number. And in a very similar way, you can decrement. You could say from 50 to 0 by -5. It works the exact same way. You can either add, you can subtract, and now as you can see, we have 50, 45, 40, etc. So that's the first type of for loop, okay? You have iteration over numbers. The second type of for loop is iterating over a list or a dictionary. So I'm going to go ahead and bring back our shopping list. So var shopping list is equal to apples, we had oranges, and we had bananas, right? So that was a shopping list. Now what I can do is I can go ahead and iterate over this sort of array. And I can say for item in shopping list, okay, for item in shopping list, print item. So what this does is for every single object in my array, that value gets associated to the variable, and then I can perform some function on that variable. So I get apples, oranges, and bananas. So again, those are the 2 types of arrays. The first one is iterating over a list of numbers. The second one is iterating over a data structure. I can do the exact same thing with dictionary. Going back to our legend, we had what? Blue is ocean, we had green is land, and so on and so forth. I can do the exact same thing with my legend. So I can say for item in legend, okay, let's go ahead and print out item. Let's see what happens. We should be seeing something of the sorts of either the keys or the values. Okay, so now we have the key blue, value ocean, key green, value land. And then if I want something more specific, I could say item.keys. If I want to get every single key of my dictionary, this is one very easy way to do it. For item and legend, print item.key. It's going to run and I'm going to get blue and green. Awesome. So that's basically why I use for loops, to iterate over something. Whether that be numbers, in our case of iterating through a series of numbers, or iterating through a certain series of arrays or dictionaries or specific data structure. Alright, there's one last thing I want to show you guys before I end this lecture, and that is the enumerate function. So right now when we're iterating through an array, we just get the value. What if I want to get the index of every single item as well as the value? That's where the enumerate function comes in. So I'm going to go ahead and say for index, comma, value in shopping list dot enumerate or enumerated. Okay, so for index comma value in shopping list dot enumerated, print out index, print out value. Okay, so it's very, very simple, but I just want to show you the power of enumerated. So it shows banana 0, apples 1, oranges 2, or I'm sorry, 0 apples, 1 oranges, 2 bananas. Okay, so that's what enumerated does. It allows us to get both the index as well as the value we're getting from before. And this is very, very useful when you want to find out the position at which your item is in the array, something like that. Alright, let's do a quick recap, guys. For loops, they're used to iterate over something. Whether that be a list of numbers over here, or it be a data structure, whether that's arrays or dictionaries. Now, we learned that to iterate over numbers, we say for your variable name in the series, remember first number, dot, 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 last number. We have the stride function, which allows us to skip or increment or decrement our numbers. And then we have iterating over a specific data structure. You can just say the variable name in your data structure, whether that's an array or dictionary. And then there's an enumerated function, which gives us both the index and the value of our data structure. Alright, that's it from my side, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.